Hello everyone, today I will teach about the hyperbolic functions. Now, number 1, I have y is equals to hyperbolic sine in the angles of 4x. The procedure today is same like about the trigonometric function, but there is an hyperbolic. So, next, the derivatives of hyperbolic sine is hyperbolic cosine. Then copy the 4x, then the derivatives of 4x is 4, then times the 4 here in the hyperbolic cosine. So, the total answer is, final answer is y prime is equals to 4 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 4x. Number 2, I have y is equals to hyperbolic secant in the angles of 4x. Hyperbolic secant is negative hyperbolic secant in the angles of 4x, then hyperbolic tangent in the angles of the 4x, then derivatives of 4x is 4. Then the answer is negative 4 hyperbolic secant in the angles of 4x, then hyperbolic tangent in the angles of 4x. Number 3, I have y is equals to hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 2x minus 1. Now this is a binomial. So hyperbolic derivatives of hyperbolic cosine is hyperbolic sine. Then copy the angles 2x minus 1, then derivatives 2x is 2, then negative 1 is a constant, so it means 0. So then 2 times hyperbolic sine is 2 hyperbolic sine in the angles of 2x minus 1. Number 4, I have y is equals to hyperbolic sine squared and the angles of 1 minus x. Here, this is a power rule. So, copy the hyperbolic sign, then copy the angles 1 minus x. This exponent will become in the outside squared. The next is put the squared in this here. Then hyperbolic sign, copy. Then the angles 1 minus x. Then since binaba natin to, babawasan na natin yung exponent ng minus 1. So 1 is divisible na lang. So then ito naman yung derivatives ng hyperbolic sign is hyperbolic cosine. Then copy the angle 1 minus x. Then derivatives is 1 is a constant. Negative x is negative 1. Next is negative 1 times 2 is negative 2 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 1 minus x, and the hyperbolic sine in the angles of 1 minus x. The final answer is y prime is equals to negative 2 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 1 minus x and hyperbolic sine in the angles of 1 minus x. Number 5, y is equals to hyperbolic cosine squared and the angles of 1 minus x. Same procedure, though hyperbolic cosine, then copy the angles 1 minus x, then the exponent. Then binaba natin yung 2, then copy the hyperbolic cosine, then 1 minus x. Then derivatives of hyperbolic cosine is hyperbolic sine. Then the 1 minus x, copy lang, then derivatives 1 is a constant, so 0, negative x is negative 1. Ano, ito pala, bakit walang symbol na dito ng negative sign? Since may rules na yung cosine na positive lang siya, so ito na yun, sagot. So negative 1 times 2 is negative 2 hyperbolic sine in the angles of 1 minus x, then hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 1 minus x. Binaliktad lang tong dalawa. Number 6, y is equals to hyperbolic tangent in the angles of 1 minus 3x. So hyperbolic tangent derivative is hyperbolic secant squared. Then copy the angles 1 minus 3x. Then derivative 1 minus 3x. 1 is a constant. So negative 3x derivative is negative 3. then times the negative 3 to the hyperbolic second squared. So negative 3 hyperbolic second squared in the angle of 1 minus 3x is the final answer. Number 7. Y is equals to 1 minus x squared in hyperbolic sign in the angles of 2x. This given is a quotient rule, then a power rule. But we focus about the quotient rule. So our quotient rule is u dv plus v du. First, we have to define where is the u and where is the v. Our u is 1 minus x squared. Then our v is hyperbolic sine squared. Hyperbolic sine in the angles of 2x. Now, first we have to derivatives the u. So our u is 1 minus x to the power of 2. Then derivatives is this formula. So bracket 1 minus x the 2, then baba natin yung 2, 1, copy the 1 minus x, then derivatives of 1 minus x is negative 1, then negative 2, negative 1 times 2 is 1 minus x. So our v naman is hyperbolic sine in the angles of 2x, then derivatives is hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 2x, then derivatives of 2x is 2, then times 2 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 2x. Now first we now use the UDV rule, quotient rule, the UDV plus VDU. Now our u is 1 plus x squared, then the derivatives of b is hyperbolic 2 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 2x, then plus our copy the v hyperbolic sine in the angles of 2x, then derivatives is negative 2 1 minus x. Now we have to simplify. 2 times is 2 in the angles of 1 plus x to the power of 2, then bring down the hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 2x, then this negative 2 times is negative 2 times hyperbolic sine is negative 2 hyperbolic sine in the angles of 2x, then the 1 minus x. That's the final answer. Number 8. I have y is equals to natural logarithmic hyperbolic sine in the angles of 3x. The rules for this is du dx over u. Our u is hyperbolic sine 3 in the angles of 3x. So first we have to derivatives hyperbolic sine 3x is hyperbolic sine in the angles of 3x, then derivative of 3x is 3. Then over the u. Our u is hyperbolic sine in the angles of 3x. Next, we have to times the 3 in the sa unahan ng hyperbolic cosine. So 3 hyperbolic cosine in the angles of 3x over the hyperbolic sine in the angles of 3x. Now, the hyperbolic cosine over hyperbolic sine is equivalent to hyperbolic cotangent u. So our final answer is y prime is equals to 3 hyperbolic cotangent in the angles of 3x. 9. Natural logarithmic hyperbolic tangent squared in the angles of 3x. First, we have to use the power rule. Hyperbolic tangent 3x, then bracket 2, then the 2, copy the hyperbolic tangent, the angles of 3x, then bawasan natin yung exponent rule. So, then derivatives of hyperbolic tangent is hyperbolic second squared. copy the angle 3x, then derivative of 3x is 3. Next, times 3 times 2 is 6. Then copy the secant squared, hyperbolic secant squared, the angles of 3x, then the hyperbolic tangent, the angles of 3x. Now, over the u is hyperbolic tangent squared in the angles of 3x. Since may kapareho tayo dito, cancel lang natin. So, mangyari is 6 hyperbolic secant squared in the angles of 3x over hyperbolic tangent in the angles of 3x. Same may kapareho lang tayo, tapos nakatuto. So, mangyari is, ito na yung final answer niya. Number 10. Y is equals to units of negative x in the hyperbolic sine x. Now, quotient rule. The UdV plus VdU. Over U is units of negative to the power of negative x, then hyperbolic sine in the angles of x. Now, first we have the derivatives, the U root of to the power of negative x. So it means u root of negative x copy, then derivative of negative x is negative 1. Then times daw. It means negative u root of to the power of negative x. Then the V, the hyperbolic sine in the angles of x. First we have the derivatives of hyperbolic sine, then copy the x, then derivative of x is 1. Then times 1, it means so hyperbolic cosine and the angles of x. Now we must use the quotient rule. Our u is u root of negative x, then derivatives of v is hyperbolic cosine in the angles of x. Then next, copy the v, hyperbolic sine, the angles of x. Then derivatives of u is negative u to the power of negative x. Now, the final answer is y prime is equals to u root to negative x hyperbolic cosine the angles of x, then plus negative u root of negative x and the angles of hyperbolic sine x. That's the final answer.